Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the financial maneuvers that shape our world. And this report suggests Lazydays Holdings might be selling more than just RVS. So what is happening with Lazydays Holdings? Well, it looks like they are basically selling off their entire business piece by piece. This filing is a snapshot of those massive sell downs. This is essentially a public announcement that a company is doing something significant, and for Lazydays Holdings, that something is a huge asset sale. They are selling off almost all of their dealerships and related properties. Think of this as a giant eBay listing for their business. Lazydays entered into this agreement to sell off pretty much everything. It is being done in stages, site by site, which means they are closing deals on different locations as they can. Let's look at some of the recent sales. On the 19th of November, they closed deals for sites in Portland, Oregon, Knoxville, Tennessee, Council Bluffs, Iowa, and Tucson, Arizona. For these sales, they got about $53.3 million. Now, where did that money go? Most of it, almost $52.5 million, went to paying off their debts. It was paid to the administrative agent, which is like the bank managing their loans. So they are using the sale money to clear their financial slate. About $800,000 went to cover the costs of these sales. And importantly, the sellers got zero cash for themselves in this specific round. Just a day later, on the 20th of November, they sold off more owned real estate in Knoxville, Tennessee for another $5.3 million. Again, most of that money, $5.2 million, went straight to paying down their debt, and the rest covered expenses. No cash for the sellers here either. Then on the 21st of November, they sold sites in Aurora, Colorado, St. George, Utah, Ramsey, Minnesota, and Monticello, Minnesota. This sale brought in $31.9 million, and guess what happened to that money? About $31.3 million went to pay down their loans, and about $600,000 covered transaction costs. Again, no cash for the sellers. The selling spree continued on the 24th of November with sites in Wilmington, Ohio, Waller, Texas, and Johnstown, Colorado. This deal was worth $39.7 million, and once again, a massive $38.8 million went to repaying their senior secured debt, and the remaining went to expenses. Finally, on the 25th of November, they sold one more piece of owned real estate in Knoxville, Tennessee for $13.3 million. Of this, $13 million went to pay off a specific mortgage loan from First Horizon Bank, and some went to the administrative agent, and the rest covered expenses. Again, no cash retained by the sellers. It is clear the priority here is debt reduction. Looking ahead, Lazydays plans to complete the final sales for their remaining sites in Las Vegas, Nevada, Sefner, Florida, Tampa, Florida, and Wildwood, Florida. After these sales are done, the company will have sold pretty much everything. They won't have any operating business left. They are planning to wind up their affairs and dissolve. Their stockholders have approved a plan for this. The sad part is their debts are expected to be more than they have left. This means the stockholders will likely lose their entire investment. And as if that wasn't enough, their common stock is expected to be delisted from NASDAQ on the 28th of November. This basically means it will be very hard or impossible for anyone to trade their shares anymore. Now, about the financial statements, they aren't able to provide the pro forma financial information right now. This basically means they can't give you a clear picture of what the company looks like financially after all these sales without a lot of extra work, which they are saying is too much to handle right now. So what is the story here? Lazydays Holdings, through these asset sales, is essentially liquidating its business. They have sold off almost all of their operational assets to pay down significant debt. The priority is clearly to settle their financial obligations. The consequence is a complete wind down of the company, meaning shareholders will likely get nothing back. Now, for my take, Lazydays Holdings is in a classic liquidation scenario. The strategy is to sell assets to pay off debt. The strength is that they appear to be methodically addressing their financial obligations. The weakness is obvious for shareholders. They are facing a total loss. There are no significant risks or opportunities as the company is dissolving. The clear conclusion is that this is the end of the road for Lazydays as an operating entity. It is a stark reminder of how quickly even prominent companies can face such drastic measures when debt becomes overwhelming. Alright, that is our breakdown of Lazydays Holdings' latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.